EmoTrance is a wonderful therapy. EmoTrance is an energy therapy, similar in some respects results-wise to EFT, emotional freedom techniques. Now the difference between the two is emotional freedom techniques, as we've discovered in the other video, is tapping on acupressure points when you think about an issue. EmoTrance is more internalized, so you're looking at when you have a problem with something. Let's say Joe Bloggs down the road said something to you this morning and it's really upset you and you feel some stress in your chest. EmoTrance is really about understanding how you internalize that feeling. So for example, if that feeling, generally speaking, if it had a shape or a color, what shape and color would it be? And then focusing on that feeling and giving that feeling permission to soften, but not for you to soften it. It's for you to give the feeling permission for it to soften itself. Might sound a bit weird, but it really does work. When you give these feelings permission to soften on their own, of their own free will, there's no resistance. When there's no resistance, there's nothing for it to fight against. And it usually just melts away or changes shape or expands or does something so that it can find its own route through and out of your body. Now this process can take sometimes a few seconds, sometimes it can take half an hour. But really what's my role as a practitioner of EmoTrance is to facilitate that process for you elegantly so that and to support you so that that process can happen whilst you're focusing on the actual process itself rather than the meaning. Then after you've allowed that process to happen and you've found this energy has found its way through your body, you think about the same issue again and you just have no reaction to it at all. So this is a really, really good process for you to use if you're in a group of people. And so for example, if you're a bit too embarrassed about doing EFT and tapping because people think, oh, what is that person tapping on? Oh, they're a bit mental. EmoTrance is a way that you can just sit there quietly and nobody knows what you're doing. You can just focus on allowing this to work. Now, an example of where this worked for me personally was many years ago. I was invited to do my first radio interview on BBC Radio Berkshire about dental phobias. And I'd never been on the radio before and I was a bit nervous, if I'm honest. And so I was sat just before I was about to go in the newsroom, and I thought they might think I'm a bit weird if I start doing my special tapping, my EFT, so I'll just use this internal EmoTrance procedure. And it worked an absolute treat. It's one of the few energy therapies that was discovered and created, if you like, in the UK by a lady, a very inspirational lady called Dr. Sylvia Hartman. And we've got a lot to thank her for because this is such an elegant and simple process, and it's saved a lot of people a lot of money of going through therapy for years. Actually, you can do it in a very short time in sometimes 1, 2, 3 sessions. So EmoTrance is a wonderful therapy and I use it a lot.